Hi, thank you for joining me today. My name is John Newby. This is John 2020 Apologetics. Today's going to be a reaction video. I don't normally do this in a tank top, but it's to show the logic of this woman's argument. I put up a couple pictures of me with Andrew and his lovely wife, Rachel, Miss Wilson, and I put that up there because, yes, I'm a fan. Yes, I've hung out with them. Yes, I agree with them, but regardless if I'm a fan of his or not, it doesn't matter. You have to defeat the argument. So I just grant that I am a fan. Just grant it. So if anyone watching this video has an issue with that, they attack the argument, not that I'm a fan. Okay? So let's go ahead and dive into it. This is Andrew on the whatever panel talking about the Force Doctrine. And a lot of people have struggled with the Force Doctrine because they say that only maybe a big, strong person should be able to articulate the Force Doctrine, as if that's an argument. I have a picture up here of Stephen Hawkins. If he said the Force Doctrine is real or not, or if he said it was real, excuse me, that would not mean that it's not because he's bound in a wheelchair. You would have to defeat the argument.
Do you want me to tell you how? Farah knows. Farah knows what I'm about to say, but I'll tell you, I can tell you how. I can tell you how men and women can't be equal. You want me to tell you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you are to look at force in society, who would you say has the monopoly on force, men or women?
Men on brute men.
The monopoly. I'm just talking about the monopoly.
Easily over they're the stronger ones.
I feel like
So I'm not being braggadocious. Everything I have is gifted me by the Lord. But I'm about top 500 or so all time in natural powerlifting. And right now I'm ranked top 10 in the world in natural strongman in the Masters division. I am been a pretty good and successful strength athlete. And I believe that if anyone's going to have an opinion on this that other women would want to listen to, even though it doesn't qualify me, it would be me, right? So I'm just taking that argument. And Force Doctrine is real. Men do have the monopoly of force. There's no question about it. I've been in the room with the strongest women on earth and the strongest men on earth in powerlifting and in strongman. I just got back from Ireland a couple months ago. I was in a room, or a gymnasium, if you will, with the strongest men and women on earth. And those women, and this is a drug-tested meet, by the way, this is Natural Strongman Worlds in Ireland. And those women are very strong. There's no question about it. They can't compare to the men. They just can't. They're exceptionally strong, but not to the men. Okay, and that's just the way God made us. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not saying men are more of value. We're just saying we have a different function or a different role. That's all it is.
things are set up for men, but
Can you indicate a time in history, ever, in the history of all of mankind, where men didn't have the monopoly on force?
On force, as in like physical force, though, correct?
Like
always, they're
physical
always stronger
force.
than
Yeah.
us.
oh, then yeah.
That's the biology.
They have the monopoly on physical force. So the question, when you come down to rights, is who can enforce rights? Women can't enforce their own rights. Men have to enforce women's rights. So there can never be real equality. There can never be real
this
equality.
is
Now, what Andrew's doing here, he's doing a descriptive. He's not saying this is the way he wants it. He's not saying what this is what he champions. But he is saying this is the way it is. Now, he does champion objective truth. So if you want to look at it in that regards, yeah, sure. But we'd be lying to ourselves if we said that what he just said is not true. You can't focus on how it makes you feel. You have to focus on if it's factual or not. And we're about to see where they're reviewing this clip in this studio down here on the bottom right. You're about to see how a woman reacts, and she has no argument. All she does is begin to insult him. As if, again, if Stephen Hawkins said it, it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. And by the way, I've been around Andrew personally, obviously, in the photos, had a couple beers with him. He's not really that small of a guy. He's got some good size to him. I'm 285 pounds, okay? And he's not that much smaller than me. He's got wide shoulders. He's got some strength to him. He was a robotics engineer. Just had a lot of people want to trash on him about the olive jar or whatever it is. But we all have, doesn't necessarily encompass everything by one moment.
What the
Men are.
fuck?
I just.
Okay. Does anybody have any reaction to that specifically?
I have a question. Why has she got this picture with a bodybuilder?
Is that Arnold in his younger days?
That
What
was
is
distracting as fuck.
I think that.
And what I'm also about to say is that I'm not taking a stab at women. I respect women in the strength sports. But if you start getting out of tested competitions like untested powerlifting or untested strongmen, if those women are taking a hormone that men have naturally. So even the women on drugs are having to take a male hormone. So they're having to take something that men produce. So it's not woman power or girl power. It's women taking men's hormones that men have overabundance of. They do have some testosterone, obviously, but nothing compared to what men have. And even take me. So I'm in the Masters division, right, which means men over 40. Right now, as an old man, I'm still stronger than any woman that's ever lived. You can go to open powerlifting. I still have a higher total right now than any woman that's ever lived. And that includes women who are not on drugs. And there are a plethora of men that are stronger than me. I know multiple men who are stronger than me that I even train with. And I know men who I met up at World's Strongest Men are stronger than me. There's 9 of them at least. Because I got 10th. So it's just biology. It's just the way God cracked us in the butt between when he decided.
That there's a difference between like the quality of men that you're talking about. I feel like you're saying men in general, like all men. There's a difference between Joe Schmo on the street and Michael. Like Michael takes care of himself, not to get.
This is such a ridiculous position. I don't know why people do this whenever you try to explain something to them. So if you say, like, for instance, that Chinese people are short, or Nordic people have blue eyes, they're always going to have some type of qualifier where they'll say, well, I know a person in Iceland who has brown eyes, or I know who Yao Ming is, who's 7'7". There's always going to be an exception to the rule, right? Just speaking in broad generalities here. No one's ever speaking in a monolith. That's not addressed in the argument. So I don't know why people can't understand this concept. And it's just due to cope. So she's always gonna try to find an outlier to try to defeat the argument, but that's not how it works.
Mess you up, whatever, but you're a pretty fucking awesome dude.
I appreciate that.
You know, like, and there's a difference between you and like some dude named John that never works out, that sucks at life, whatever. Like, that's the quality of man that we want, not like all men.
I think the decision though was about equality to deal with it, not quality but equality.
Yeah, but also
equality.
But also I want to add to that too. Like you said a couple of things in there. You said that men should control the rights of women. So
Nope.
No, you said that.
I didn't make a should claim. No.
Well, okay, so then maybe I heard it differently.
I made a descriptive is claim. What is true?
Human rights exist.
Exactly. So it is true, not what ought to be true. And I don't know why people have a hard time wrestling between these two as well. It is true that men are stronger than women. It is true that men have the monopoly on force. Now, the argument that she's about to give to Andrew means that she should listen to me, right? Or at least she should have, or at least someone who is strong give this information. So that's going to be her argument in a second. So let me go ahead and tell it to you then. Men have the monopoly on force. Do you believe it? Do you believe it now? What if Stephen Hawking said that men have the monopoly on force? Would you disagree with him? The dude definitely can't open an olive jar. He can't do anything, or he's dead now, right? But he couldn't do anything then when he's in the wheelchair, could he? So I don't understand how that's an argument. If a thief says it's wrong to steal, does that mean the thief is wrong? Or if somebody who's not good at math gets a math question right, does that mean you don't listen or you don't accept that they got that question correct? I don't understand.
Only because of men. That's what he's saying. It's not saying that they should control it.
Take a should claim versus an is claim. It's a descriptive versus a prescriptive claim. I'm not prescribing that men take rights away from women. I'm saying what is descriptively true is that men grant women rights.
Okay,
cool.
Okay, but I feel like Tiva.
Let me talk. I feel like someone that has such a ridiculously high ego as you should at least be physically fit.
And see, look at her. She thinks like that's an argument. She thinks that that's an argument. How is that an argument? How's that an argument? Again, if Stephen Hawking said that men have the monopoly on force, would she say, well, you're in a wheelchair, you can't say that, even though he's a brilliant scientist? Is that, or was? How is that an argument?
Okay.
What are you doing?
So anyway,
I just have a quick question for you guys. So, as a woman,
I think a woman as bitchy as you should be attractive, but what do you want? Anyway,
can I just say that you think like everything that you say that you know and all this stuff? Is this why you come in with such an attitude, like making like you're better than us?
See, all Andrew did was state what is, and they can't see past that. And there's no argument against it. It's just to attack him, and that he's not a big, strong guy. That's their argument. How is that an argument? Again, I'm going to keep asking that question, and it just doesn't make any sense.
yes. Now, can we get back to the argument?
Okay, let's just agree not to insult each other.
Like, if you guys didn't come at
So listen, Loretta, here's the situation. This guy is a professional debater. Like, he will stomp people. That's the way he communicates. He's only interested in the content, not the context.
Totally.
And if the context gets misaligned, then you don't have to say things about like him needing a pedicure or
it
making
gives
fun
us
of
a
him.
bad look and it makes us women look
but that
bad.
doesn't give you a green light
you're
to be disrespectful.
You are being.
See, it's disrespectful because what he's saying is truthful and it hurts your feelings. That's their issue. So Andrew just saying that the sky is blue, if they wanted it to be purple by that logic or pink by that logic, it would be disrespectful. He's just stating what is. Water is wet. If they don't like that, then that would make them mad, and that would be, quote, disrespectful, because all he's doing is stating facts. And they don't like it that he's not a big, strong guy.
Being that girl.
That doesn't give you a green light to be disrespectful.
What did I do that was disrespectful? I was just answering your question. You came at me.
Yeah. I'm just going to shift the conversation back to the topic at hand. I just have a genuine question. So as a woman who is completely single, I'm not dating, I'm not seeing anybody, there is zero, besides my father and my family, there is zero constant male figure.
Slide in the DMs, gentlemen. Slide in the DMs.
Okay. And
all right, so she just rambles on. I recommend you go watch the entire podcast. It was a good one, but yeah, I just wanted to point this out because, yes, I'm an Orthodox bro. Yeah. Yes, I'm a Crucible fan. Yes, I watch Andrew's shows all the time, and I have Rachel's book, and my wife has read it, and all this is true. So what? What's the argument against it? And if you're going to say that you need a big, strong person to say the Force Doctrine is true, well, guess what? It's true.